in accordance with New York State fire laws, we ask you to observe all exits and the instructions from the ushers in case of an emergency. The use of cameras and recording devices is prohibited, and we ask you to please turn off your cell phones. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Where's that woman, Emmett? You can't count on her to get you a hot meal on the table before 6 a.m. Then can you tell me what kind of good is she? Tell me that one, Emmett. So, far as you're concerned, we're really cutting out of here. I take it that that's the story so far? Do I take it right? Do I take it right or wrong? Answer me right or wrong. Boy, I'll cut you down. Answer me right or wrong.
If you have to be stubborn, do it outside, Forensic. I'm writing a letter.
Who to them? Just tell me that much. Jesus! I feel so far out of what's going on since you and everyone else decides that we ain't going through with a whole plan that's been going on since we was 10 years old.
Sit. Now, I'm writing to my mother, and for me to do that, I have to have my wits. Would you like a smoke?
Your mother? Jesus. All right. I'll light it.
It's no good being disappointed, Forensic. We've been through that. We have to just lay low for a while. And we need you a lot, so don't go feeling left out of things. Right now, we just need to take care of certain business. We have to transfer the guns and the equipment. We have to individually escape. We have to be quiet. We have to do these things before we make any moves. If we make any other moves, then we're screwed, and that's the end of that. We have to switch our sensibilities so that we're not even pretending. So that we are transformed for a time and see no difference in the way we are from the way we were. We have to believe ourselves. Here.
That's just chicken, and you know it. It's downright yellow and cowardly. We could blow that whole place up in less time than it would take to go through a sensibility switch. We're out here switching disguises while there are people who are really trapped in there for real. What about them? We could blow that whole motherfucker sky high, and you know it.
Here. Don't talk like a dumb kid, Forensic. Do you have any idea whatsoever what this project looks like from the outside? Objectively, without emotion? Why? It looks overwhelming, Forensic. It's a fucking desert fortress is what it amounts to. They've rebuilt it since the time of the Japanese, you know. New plumbing. Double inlaid wire fencing that mounts a steel wall 30 feet high without doors.
How did they get in there? And what difference does the plumbing make?
By helicopter. And the difference in plumbing is that since it's reconstruction, we have no idea what the design is like underground, which makes internal explosions almost out of the question.
Then bomb the motherfucker!
And kill all the inmates. Right. Bomb the motherfucker and kill all the inmates. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying, Forensic. Out of my sight. Get out of my sight! I don't want to see you ever again!
You probably should have told me what hour it was getting to be.
Why, my goodness sakes. I look at the clock, and the time is getting to be way past the time for you boys' breakfast. And we both know how uptight the two of you get when breakfast isn't just exactly when you get the most hungry.
So, here it is. Hot and ready.
How many times I gotta tell you? I don't eat that buckwheat, Aunt Jemima, middle class bullshit. I want Rice Krispies and nothing else. Is that clear?
Get that pancake off of our conference table, you stupid girl!
Here.
Emmy! You're as soft and flabby as you say that your enemies are.
You're pretty much of a shit yourself, shitface.
I can't, my mouth is full. Who is it? Just a moment, please. Yes, hello, who is it, please?
It's the exterminator, lady!
We don't want any, thank you anyway.
You don't want it what? It's the exterminator! Open up!
Okay. Wait just a second. Coming, just hold tight. We haven't had any rats here since last February, March, around in there.
Well, they told us to cover the place, from top to bottom.
You'll have to leave, man.
Fuck you, this is my home.
Cool it along.
Don't you think you better check out with your home office and see if you got the right place? I mean, it would be awful if you got the wrong place, don't you think? What do you think, fellas?
This is exactly the place, little girl.
The table gives it away. Without the table, or with the table in another place, perhaps it would be cause to call the home office. But with the table in the place it is and looking the way it does, there is absolutely no doubt. We have the right place.
Now, we have to synchronize our watches, adjust our nozzles, and get ourselves ready.
You better get out of here, lady. Without a gas mask, you're as good as dead.
Sing something, Lula.
What?
Anything.
Well, let me tell you about Ahab, the Arab. She got the burning sails. He had arrows and a rubies just dripping off of him and a ring on every finger of his hair. He wore a big old turban wrapped around his head and a scimitar by his side. And every evening, about midnight, he'd jump on his
and I both see that table over here when we first came in here?
Gee, I don't know.
What do you mean? Wasn't it you who said that we could tell we were in the right place on account of the table being where it was, which was right here, not over there? Wasn't it you who said that to her? Answer me, Mush Mouth, was it me or you?
It was me, but it still seems like the right place even with the table over there.
But we can't be sure now. Before, we can be absolutely sure. But now, there's some doubt. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
I guess.
So that means we'll have to call the home office before we can make another move. Am I right? Where's your phone, lady?
She's fainted or something.
There's a payphone just down the road.
There's probably a payphone just down the road. Why don't you go down there and call while I stay here?
Down the road?
Yeah, now hurry up. I'm going to be right here waiting. Just ask them if it makes any difference where the table is.
Okay. You're going to wait here.
Yeah, now move. Oh, my darling, you mustn't worry now. We'll get you out. I'll get you far away to a safe place where we can be quiet, and you won't even know. Just relax. All you'll see is smoke filling up the valley. We'll be very high up. Don't you worry about that. It was a treehouse, but now it's a fort. It's very strong and beautiful. You can trust it to keep you safe and sound. It's colored just like the trees. Orange and yellow and green and blue. And it makes sounds just like birds and dogs and wild boar. Really. If anyone comes, you can see them from 2 miles away. You can send it to me if I'm not around, but I always will be. I'll never leave for a second. You can count on me. If you could only see me now, I know you'd believe me. If you could wake up in my arms and act like I was supposed to be here. always here. And always will be. You could wake up like that. Then we could go away from here now. Right this very minute, we could leave and live in the trees.
All right, Big Bopper, on your feet.
What a nasty, rotten trick.
Shut up! So, you're a lover in disguise, is that it, Big Bopper? You're really full of pizzazz, but you just got led astray. Is that the story?
Don't press that nozzle. Just keep those hands up.
Don't press that nozzle. Blow up in flames.
It's not a torch, it's gas. Toxic gas. Highly poisoned toxic gas. And if you breathe it in, you're dead right away.
Don't be ridiculous.
What? What did you say, smart aleck? Just don't get smart with me, mister.
Just take it easy, Forensic.
He's a wise guy. I guess it's for roaches, rats, and varmints, not people.
What?
It just gets you sick and makes your eyes water.
What? Wait a minute. Now just take it easy.
He's just trying to come off like he's a killer of pests and bugs.
Just don't get excited. We might find something out. Are you hungry, mister?
No.
Well, I am. Would you mind if the two of us sat down at the table and I ate some Rice Krispies while I asked you some questions?
All right. What is this?
Fetch the Rice Krispies, Ulan.
You know he has a friend somewhere out there on the phone booth who's going to come back here.
Just get the Krispies, woman! Now, set yourself down here. Come on! Now fold your hands on top of your head.
What am I supposed to do, goddammit?
Now, I take it you've come a long way, mister, not just down the block or down the road.
Well, yes. I mean, that depends.
I take it you have certain tools at your disposal which provide photographs and details of our layout here, like table positions, etc.
That goes without saying. What's the name of that girl?
I'll give you a hint. It sounds like it has something to do with tea, but it doesn't.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Darjeeling?
Now, your home office must be getting pretty edgy to send a couple of toughs like you, all equipped and everything. Hot and ready. They must suspect a move on our part. The amazement is that we had no idea that they had any interest in our project whatsoever. I mean, you just come out of that clear blue sky. We don't even have any dogs.
Dogs?
Doberman pinchers. German shepherds. Wire-haired pointing griffins circling the place, sniffing for trouble, ready to tear the throat of anybody that smells of a different turf. Do you understand? No dopey blonde muscle boys practicing jujitsu on the front lawn. We're vulnerable as all get out. We've left ourselves with our pants down, which leaves you all the room to plunge in, and you have. Which means for us, we'll have to temporarily abandon the idea of temporarily abandoning our project, putting us right back in the meat of the game. You forced our hand, as it were. Keep those hands up.
Look, we don't need this. I'm telling you, we're not gonna learn anything more or better by interrogation than we are by just going out there and seeing what that place looks like for ourselves. What its potentials are for collapsing. I mean, we can't sit around here all abstracted and out of shape while they lie stacked up on top of each other behind steel doors. That's just not fair.
What's her approximate age?
32. 21. 30.
Does she see many boys? Young ones? Do they come to her door? Do they They sit outside in the driveway, honking in their cobras, with their right arm coaxing and kneading and fondling the tuck and roll, and their left hand squeezing, pumping on the wheel.
Get your master's degree, mister?
Not at all.
So what qualifies you for a job in the line of gas?
I'm past my prime.
So he goes for the skirt, does he? Perhaps we could make a deal.
Forget it, Forensic. We got her out of there once, or don't you remember? Now you want to start the whole thing over again? Put her in a position for being taken back? You don't think clearly. Bomb the motherfuckers! We got her out. She stays out, and she's not going back for any kind of deal. Not even for the most precise, delicate ground plan for the new plumbing system that they just recently put in. Not even for that.
You mean to say that you'd consider some sort of trade, some information for her inspiration? I'll do it, by Jove! I'll do it just as soon as you're standing there!
Just keep those hands up.
Now he's taunting.
Out of the question. Absolutely out of the question. We can't jeopardize her position. It's ridiculous. She'd just end up back in solitary, or worse, she'd end up stacked up along with the rest of them.
Big Bopper, you are on the brink of having, for your very own, the hottest little discotheque mama ever to come in this set.
Oh, good. It's about time. Bring him down here.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'll tell you anything. Okay. First off, do you have a map of the plan?
Huh? Yes, I do. Of course I do. But I don't think the
Let me
plan.
see it. Come on.
And it, you'll never in a million years guess what I just a little while ago figured out in lunch.
Come on, Crispies, woman, give me
I
Crispies.
know, but it's about that. It's about Crispies and the complaints you've had against them all these years. The complaints being that you always lose a few of them because as soon as you add milk to a full bowl, they rise up and overflow the bowl and fall on the floor. So, what you've had to do all this time is fill the bowl half full out of the milk, mush the half-filled bowl down into the milk so they get soggy and don't rise. Then add more fresh Crispies on top of those, and then a little more milk, and then mush the fresh ones down so that the whole bowl is soggy. And then finally add the sugar, and then finally you get to taste the very first spoonful after having gone through that long, painful process.
Yes. I know. That's why I have good woman fix Crispies so that man have not go through so much pain.
I know, but what I'm saying is that I've solved that whole problem.
Good. Good.
I'll show you how to do it.
Good.
Now, first, I pour the Crispies in. All the way full. Now, I put both my hands gently but firmly on top of the Crispies like this.
Yeah.
Now you pour the milk.
Over your hands?
Yes. Go ahead. Don't be afraid.
I don't want some of these grimy hands in my cereal.
Just pour the milk. See?
Listen here, mister. This map is no use to us. It's all mixed up according to this, and everything's in some sort of code or something. Hey! resources, not to mention food, and what means of transportation they have in case of a pursuit. None of that is down here. I didn't count for that. What's this map for?
I don't know. They hand it to us. The first day we get uniforms, helmets, guns, tanks, gas. And they hand us that map. One apiece. We each get one to study when we go home. We each are told to memorize the details of this map and to make sure we have them by the next morning, because we're going to be thoroughly tested and retested on those details. But we never are. Each morning we're never tested. And each evening we're threatened that we will be tested the next morning. But we never are.
Let's just see what kind of homework you claim you've been doing then. You wouldn't mind that, I'm sure. After all, you've worked so hard night after night. And each morning, you've been disappointed. It's about time you had a chance to show your stuff, don't you think?
Does she care about things like popularity and Letterman's jackets?
Now pay attention, Swabby!
Good. Crispy's good.
What's the capital of the state of Arizona? Phoenix. How much barbed wire would it take to encircle 400 acres?
9,270 square yards.
How many guns are on the east wall facing the western barricade?
45.
On which side are the women kept?
Southwest corner and northeast.
2 parts? The women are split in 2 parts?
Yes, sir.
Which 2 again? Again, which 2?
Northeast and southwest.
And the men?
Northwest and southeast.
And the dogs?
Right in the middle. And all around the edges.
Which edges? Make yourself clear, Forensic. Which edges?
Every edge. All the way around.
On the sides, then. All around the sides. Wouldn't that be a better way to put it?
Yes.
And are they chained, tied, on leashes, attached to men, running wild, vicious, kind? What kind of dogs?
Dobermans, shepherds, griffins.
Where's the electric source now? The light source. Where does it come from? How much wattage? And what kind of lamps?
3 million kilowatts. Underground. Double stops. 90-inch strobe.
Wait a minute. Underground? What's underground?
Light source, sir.
Underground light source? How? What kind? How's that possible?
Underground streams, sir.
Water?
Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Water.
I'll be damned! How deep?
What?
How deep down? The water? How many feet?
Oh, I can't reveal that kind of information, sir. That's not part of the test.
Not part of the test, indeed. You were doing so well for so long.
What do you mean? That's not part of the test. How deep?
All right. We'll go on. Now, how many guards are standing on the right wall, facing the embankment, overlooking the pond?
Wait a minute. I know how deep it is, but I'm not supposed to tell.
Never mind. How many guards?
Don't you want to know how deep?
How many guards? 60 feet deep! Aha! What kind of pumps? Hydraulic? Electric gas? What kind of pumps?
Vacuum, sir.
They run on air then? Do they run on air?
Yes, sir.
And if that air were to be cut off, where would it be cut off at?
At the throttle, sir.
At the throttle? What does that mean? At the throttle? Don't you mean at the throat? Cut it off at the throat? Don't you mean that? Answer me yes or no!
Yes.
How do we get to the throat, Forensic?
Through the back, sir.
What do we do? Under the table, then! Ulan! Let him alone! Under the table, Ulan! Take the break, please! Take the break! Eric, not him, just her! Just Ulan! Leave her alone!
Yes, who is it, please?
The exterminator lady!
I'm no lady, I'm a man!
Don't talk like a dumb kid, Forensic. Open the door.
Fuck you. This is my home. Give me that gun!
Stand back, Emmett, or I'll blow you wide open!
Boy, is it ever weird out there. Have you guys ever been out there?
Out where?
Out there! You haven't got much time, but I should tell you that right away. Fair warning and everything. Now, what's happened to Forensic?
What's weird? I've been out there before and I haven't seen anything weird. What's so weird?
The whole thing! The road and everything! The phone booth! The road! Do you suppose he left or something? I suppose that's it. It's better, I guess.
What's better? What's weird about the road? Make
It's
yourself
not the
clear!
road. Just walking along in a gas mask and looking the way I'm looking at everything. I mean, there's not many people, but if you run across anybody while you're out there, it's really weird. You guys had better get out before it's too late. They'll be here before you can say Jack Robinson.
Who?
I suppose what he did was, he just decided to quit the whole business. I suppose that's it. He just got tired of waiting around, left his gear and everything. In fact, we must have decided the very same thing at the very same time, but we just happened to be in different places is all. I'll bet that's what happened. Just as I put down the receiver and folded the glass door open and stepped outside of the phone booth, with the tank and mask leaning up against a tree trunk and a semi roaring by. Just as he, standing around this table, hears the same semi roaring by and takes off the mask and sets down the tank. Just as I, leaving the tank and mask leaning up against a tree trunk, start following the semi down the road. Just as he, leaving the room with the tank and mask sitting on the floor, starts walking toward me. We must have passed each other somewhere. That's it, I'll bet that's what happened. I start walking back toward the house, and he starts walking toward the phone booth, and we miss each other somewhere along the road. I'll bet you that's the way it happened. But you guys had better get out. They're going to gas this place once and for all.
Who is? You're out of your mind! Give me the gun, Emmett!
She's lying, Forensic! Can't you see that? She's in no hurry to get out, so why should we be?
I suppose I just wait around. He's bound to turn up. Fat chance of finding him this time of night, walking along in the dark, ready to see your own house in front of your own face! A nice place you boys have.
She's not out of line! She's called the home office and found out where the table's supposed to be. And she's just waiting around for her men to arrive. Now give me the gun, Emmett.
She just said that she dropped Oliver here at the phone booth and that she's searching for her buddy. Deserters, Forensic.
Yep. A place like this to get a person dreaming about settling down. Finding some roots. A kind of headquarters. A place to come back to.
This is our home.
Where's that woman, Emmett?
What?
That woman you had here before.
Oh, she.
Don't you tell her anything.
The trouble is, what if he found my tank and mask leaning up against a tree trunk and thought the same thing as me at the very same time but in two different places? What if he sat himself down inside the phone booth or up against a tree trunk and is waiting for me, thinking the same thing as me, that it's too damn dark to go walking back at this time of night? What if that's the way it is?
Well, then you better go back and get it.
No, you don't understand. If either one of us makes another move like the moves we've already made, then the whole thing could go on forever. Now is a very crucial time. We must each think individually what the other is going to do, or we'll just miss each other again and again until finally we split up and go our separate ways. Do you get what I mean?
Maybe he doesn't even want to meet you, though. Did you ever think of that? Shut up.
Maybe you're right, Forensic. Maybe you're absolutely right. Maybe he doesn't. That means somewhere altogether different from the phone booth. That means he could be anywhere.
That means he could be under the table even. Will you shut up?
He most certainly could, Forensic. He most certainly could. Right under the table. Right under my very nose. But that means, all right then. But not only are we thinking the same thing at the very same time, but we're also in the very same place. I hardly think that could be true, Forensic, because if it were, then it could only mean one thing. That he not only doesn't want to meet me, but he also doesn't want me to meet him.
Now you got the picture.
Then I take it the whole thing's off. Do I take it right? Do I take it right or wrong?
Right. You take it absolutely right.
Then we just split up and go our separate ways.
That's up to you. I'm staying here.
You give me the gun!
I called the home office, you know.
I know.
Then I take it you know what's going to happen.
You take it right.
What's going to happen?
And even so, you're willing to stay. Even knowing what's going to happen, you're willing to stay here.
Yes, I am. I've fallen in love.
What's going to happen?